What's going on, you amazing people? Welcome to a sermon from Church of Isness, Religion of Isness. Today, I'm not sure if this is going to be a Spiritual Sunday video or not. I was just inspired through writing the Bible. Our Bible, it's where we are up to chapter 13 of 33. I'll explain the Bible a little bit to you, and then we can proceed through to the point of the sermon. Okay, so there's 33 chapters, and what the 33 chapters are is what they call are the pillars of your religion, your belief, and what they are, and how I structured it is on the very simple but profound structure of this, okay? What, why, and how. So in the Bible, I've written what it is, why do it, why not do it, and how to do it and how not to do it. So we use the duality of doing and not doing. And you can do things positively and you cannot do things positively, as well as you can do things negatively and you can also not do things negatively. And I'll use an example of the duality of love and evil. Okay, I can give you a hug. I can tell you that I love you. That's me doing and saying, in reality, love, the highest thing that you can do. But you can also do the same thing evil. I can not tell you that I love you, and I cannot give you a hug, and that is me not speaking evil and not doing, but doing evil. Do you understand? Which is, you understand when we go over this, the four sides of the evil ego. One of them is aloof, which people punish others through basically distancing them, putting them in the naughty corner or ignoring them, or punishing them through segregation, or punishing them through not talking to them, or not having, especially if you're in a relationship, like not having sex, or you have to sleep on the couch, like that pathetic loser behavior. Like, number one, this terminology that women have some control over men and that can tell them what to do and what not to do is bonkers. This is not a sexist thing, this is a realist thing. Like, for you want a woman to be a woman. That's what men want. A man wants a woman to be a woman if he's attracted to a woman. If you're gay, doesn't matter which gender you are, you want that other person to be that other person. Do you understand? That's why, in relationships of the gay relationship, when a woman becomes the butch woman, she's the more dominant rolling masculine version because she wants to be that. Do you understand? And in that relationship, she wants to be the masculine dominant one. And the other partner likes the masculine dominant version. She's still a woman, being a lesbian and stuff like that. But it's not about that. It's the fact that you can't demasculate people so that you feel better. You can't edit reality so that it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. You're supposed to be in the face of reality and see that feeling of uncomfortable or the trigger, it's happening because you're triggered by it. Yes, you can go justice warrior anything you like, but you're wasting your fucking breath because you go justice warrior on things that just validate more conflict. But we're not talking about that. I could go down that rabbit hole with you, but when you deal with people that just scream try to abuse you, try to bully, intimidate you. When they can't, they try to cancel and silence you because it's just primitive. Like, that's what I said, you can't edit others because you don't like yourself. You know what I mean? So with this whole thing about men and women, my point was this, is physically, what the fuck is she going to do? You're a man. And it's not a threat thing. The fact that you're being threatened by somebody else and that you submit into a position of less to validate someone else's position of trying to overreach to be more, to punish you by pushing you out. That's what we're meaning. The ego behavior of, one, you don't punish people. Yes, there is punishment for all things, but you don't. You don't become the judge, the jury, and the executioner. You're in a relationship that's supposed to be love. The moment that you go from a place of love to evil, this is our point. If you get lost in the whole justice warrior thing, I know we dipped our toe in it and you might want to delve into it, but we're going to use a little thing. It's by design, because throughout this whole teaching and throughout the whole Bible of everything, I just hit the window. Each thing is by design to train you to be able to step out of that negative, reactive state and into a positive, healthy, loving state. And we may trigger you, we're definitely going to trigger you, on purpose throughout this whole thing so that you may see the reflection of yourself and your own behavior and belief systems. And then we give you that opportunity, like right now, to reflect upon it and make a better choice. You know what I mean? Putting you in a positive situation where you can do the change, where we provide you the consciousness, the opportunity for consciousness to evolve. So our thing with the aloof is the punishment by pushing somebody away or removing yourself. Now, that's the opposite act of not doing evilly and not doing love. Because it's easy to just shut up. It's easy to push others away. And Mike Tyson says this, one of the most beautiful souls we've ever seen evolve. He once said, this young guy said, "Oh, if you do me wrong, I drop you in a second," or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And he says, you do that, the devil wins. Because if you shut yourself down and push others away that do you wrong, they own you. The devil owns you. And it's true, you're the slave to evil. When you change, when it changes you, and that's our thing, that's why we're trying to trigger you. When you're changed by something, and the change isn't moved to love, it isn't moved to compassion, it isn't moved to forgiveness, it isn't moved to gratitude. Like, are you ever be able to be grateful for the worst things that's ever happened to you? Are you able to be grateful for the things that trigger you? Because those things are happening. It's like Bruce Lee used to say, pain will leave when it's finished teaching you. That means you're going to have to learn something. Do you understand? So our thing of this whole doing and not doing is very simple but very complex, apparently, is the duality of reality that you can do positively and you cannot do positively. Like, I can say positive words and I cannot say negative words. You know what I mean? So it's like we find throughout the Bible each reflection and each duality of each thing for you so that you can understand what, when, why, how, and so on and so forth. 33 chapters, like we said, And in these 33 chapters, what it is, it's the actual practical, that's what I said we teach, is this is the practical reality of religion, of the advanced life. It's the only way to be an elite master. It's the only way because it is to evolve in consciousness. That is our, let's say, sales pitch line, byline, slogan, is to evolve in consciousness. And that's the point. That's it. You can say whatever you want. You can take it however the fuck you want. Doesn't mean anything because it's not what we said and it's not our reason why we said it. If it is the reason why, our intentions, then it is what it is. Because like we were explaining to someone on the weekend, that the definition of insanity, Albert Einstein, is just one of the greatest things. Is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? Well, if you have a look at faiths, religions, churches, spiritualities, they are literally following the same definition of insanity by doing the same stupid shit or not doing the same good stuff over and over and over again and expecting a different result every single fucking time. And that's just nuts. And they just come up with a new one and it's just fucking nuts. And it's just nuts and nuts and nuts. And you're not, and it's all a bunch of what do they call it? Lemmings. All a bunch of lemmings that can't actually do a fucking thing and just sit there and bitch and whine and complain and self-pity, self-harm and harm others. There is no religion, which is kind of fucked up because if you do go back to the source of religions, whether it was the Greek gods of Apollo and Zeus and all that sort of stuff, or if you go to Jesus, they all, you gotta understand, like even Jesus said, thou shalt do greater deeds than I. But and says, do not worship me, worship God, and blah, 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 blah. Yet people sit there and pray to Jesus. I see it all the bloody time. And there's religions all about Jesus. And it's like, don't ask not for that. And people can't even, they love Jesus, great. They can't respect his wishes. It's just bonkers. People that pray to things and they're like religious, yet it's just weird. And it's what's your intention? So we can say this, okay? Like we said, we're going to go through everything to expand your consciousness and make your brain have a panic attack and trigger you so that you may able to, we can do this. This is something that we like to do, right? Is get a pen, get a pen, get a pencil, whatever thing, right? And what is amazing, this technique we're going to teach you takes a lot. It takes a lot. You got to have a big set of kahunas. And again, we're using a word to explain having some guts, having some self-discipline and courage to do some shit. So, I love this shit. What you're going to do is you're going to go through and listen to this or listen to someone else and get ready to pause and get ready to write. When you're triggered in any terminology, any theory, fear, because if it is reactive, it's evil, okay? It's negative, it's hate, and it's fear. You're just scared. You can't, that's the thing, like only cowards fight. It's but you have to go to a place of warriors to understand that. Like real warriors. But anyway, we ask you to write down the trigger. Like, I'm triggered. Number 1. Talked about this. I didn't like it. Great. And then go through and write down all your triggers. Okay? And then, once you've finished, go back, or you can do it just then, and ask yourself honestly, and delve and regress honestly to the reason why you're triggered. Because it's going to be, this is your healing. That's what everything is. This is your evolution. Okay? And then, a little tip. Go through it all, and then at the end, write down the bottom. Don't forget this is the most important. That these are your thoughts. This is the way that you've perceived something and someone else. And that if you have a problem, that it is entirely and solely your problem, not anyone else's, and it's no one else's fault that you have a problem. That is entirely encompassed in you and in here. That is your place, that is your mental go-to state, is that. It's like a comedy skit that everybody laughs at everything until somebody jokes about the thing about that they are triggered by. That's too close to home. And that's what we're getting at, is you're going to go into a place and you're going to write it all down to be able to become conscious. See, if you can't do this, fuck off. And come back when you fucking can. Because if you can't do self-analyzation and be critical of oneself and just be a fucking coward that's critical of others and bitches and whines and like tries to mob mentality bully people, it is just dumbest, idiotic bullshit. And it's the highest level of hypocrite. It's like you hate the government. Good, they're fucking weasels. But how are you being any different to others? How are you not silencing, taking advantage of, bullying, abusing? You understand the hypocriticalness of it? And we just need you to get to these states to be able to cognitively, consciously analyze and adjust one's perspective and take it from a place of hate. And basically you're a slave to evil and you're trying to be the justice warrior, but you're just spreading evil. You're not spreading love. And people are too stupid to realize they're so stupid. Just a slave. If someone hurts you, they're trying to hurt them. They've hurt themselves. Love them. This is not ever going to be anything than the cold, hard facts of the universe. Not a primitive terminology that one group had got upset about something and then try to twist it or martyr bomb it or justice warrior it, or like, if you could, there's no radicalization of this, you'll be disbarred and disbanded. This is like science. There is no la-di-da. There is this consciousness. If you're not conscious, you're not having the fucking conversation, because anything that you say or anything that you do is unconscious. And if you're coming from, and it's just hate and evil, then you're just, it's like this. We're going to protect you from hurting yourself by being hurt. And it's weird. Like, just say someone tries to fight you, okay? You're going to protect them from you. You're going to protect them from being hurt. Until that someone is trying to hurt you and you try and protect them from being hurt, that's the level of that we're at, is that you don't hurt others. You don't abuse, you don't attack, you don't silence, you don't get angry, you don't be evil. In the face of hate and fear and the slavery humanity is to evil, you may think something of someone else. Understand that's your fucking brain and you're trusting it. But you're not a master, you're a slave. You're not the boss. You're the employee. And it's until you can become that elite master, you're just digging a deeper hole for yourself to get out of. It doesn't matter what you say or do. You're just digging yourself a deeper hole. Like we said, we don't give a fuck about your problems. We don't give a fuck about your opinions. We don't give a fuck. If the thing is evil, if the thing comes from hate, if the thing comes from fear, the thing doesn't mean shit. The fact that it comes from hate, comes from fear, i.e. evil, is all that fucking matters. We're going to find out why, and then we're going to regress back to the place, and then we're going to do the fucking work and do the healing and replace it with love. Replace it with gratitude. Replace it with forgiveness, compassion, kindness. And that's the thing in this Bible. It's no holds barred, straight to the honesty, 100%, all the time. And if you're ever triggered, go through and write it down. If you're upset by something, write it down. Because it is an indication that in that place, if you went from a place to a negative, upset, triggered, angry, you know what I mean? That there's a point to it. That means it's showing you this is where evil lies within me. The fact that I go from this juxtaposed to another because of someone other or something other or the lack of someone or something other is the indication of where evil lies, and we go into that motherfucker and we purge it. You don't ignore it. You don't try and edit externally what triggers you internally. No, fuck's sake. Embrace the external trigger. Face that fucking fear. Go through it and remove the hate by embracing the love. And guess what? You'll stop being triggered and you'll reach our place of enlightenment where you don't give a fuck. Why would you care? Why would you allow yourself, it's like this, why would you tether your ship to the primitive, sinking, pathetic, evil, low-life ship of another? Why would you say, hey, I want a one-way ticket to hell, thank you. I want a one-way ticket to being fucking worthless. Great. I'm going to tether myself to a fucking moron and their stupid fucking shit that they say and do, or don't say and don't do. Why? Why would you allow yourself to go from so great, or maybe not so great, but for so much potential for greatness, to guaranteed fucking worthlessness, because you allowed yourself to be tethered to something so fucking menial, and like people that get upset because stuff isn't the way they want, or if it's out of place, or you didn't do that, or it happened, blah, blah, blah. That is such a dumb thing to be triggered by. What a worthless person you've allowed yourself to become, that such a stupid thing takes you from here and brings you down here. You can't be so worthless that something worthless will make you worthless. You have to be worthy. You have to be valuable. And when you are worthy and valuable, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't fucking care. Why would you fucking care? Why would you allow yourself to... it is so moronic. And it's so stupidly simple. It is so stupidly simple, it seems like stupid people can't tell. It's really weird. It's really weird. And they don't understand the whole time. You're the slave. You're not a master of anything. You're just trying to edit the external reality so that you don't feel internally like the worthless, weak, gimp piece of shit you are. Oh, I'm angry. I'm going to confront you. But why would you slap a lion in the face and then cry like a little bitch when the lion rips your fucking head off? Why would you put yourself in a situation and tempt fate so that you can gaslight for attention and play the victim? It's like people that try the Karens and the people that tried confrontation and stuff like that. They're just gaslighting. They're just doing the extremism, martyr bomb fucking shit that everybody does. That they just find a cause that they can project their inner hate, which is truth. They're just cowards inside. They're just fucking little cowards trying to make others suffer the way that they suffer. The haters, it's like if you have, by hating the haters back, you literally allow the collective ego, the little evil piece of shit within both of you, to win. Because no one who is an elite divine master hates. They're not afraid. It's like we're not slaves to evil. When you're love yourself, like the conscious divine master, these things don't exist. But like we say, fear isn't real. It's not. Pain's not real. That you believe in them. Really? But love's real. Huh? Oh yeah. Love's fucking real. Pleasure's real. Pleasure's great. But you don't do that. You don't do that. Because you're a slave. So, let's just get this straight. Fear is not real. Fear is a byproduct of evil. Okay? Because it's worthless. Now, understand this. Fear is not real, so there's nothing to fear. At all. How do you beat fear? Face your fears. What does fear do? Run away like a little gimp bitch. It disappears. It's It's an illusion. It's an illusion of evil because evil isn't real. But evil is trying to be a real boy using humanity to create its body. AI technology. But anyway, so fear is the closest thing to evil. It's a cause and effect. It's all cause and effect. So, what goes from there? Hate. Because only scared people react. Only scared people can hate. Because they're too afraid. They're too slave. They're so easy. You can scare sheep into a pen. You can condition them to run in the pen so that they're not scared. Yeah. And then you can condition them so much to the threat of torture, to the threat of suffering, to the threat of pain, which isn't real. It's a receptor in your brain that you haven't controlled. So you run from pain, you run from fear, which all aren't real. You just hate others because you hate yourself. All the while de-evolving. All the while being a weak, worthless piece of shit while you do this. And in this whole statement in place, this is the effects. Evil is an effect. What's the cause? The cause, my friends, is you are cut off. You have lost your free will. You are not a master. You're a slave. You do not love thyself. When there is no light, there can only be darkness. When the light within shines so bright, the world is a light. So what humans do is they're so worthless inside, they externally try and get tortures. They try to buy and have and get external remediation to an internal disease. That's stupid as fuck. But our point is this. The Bible is about that itself. We look at the environment, we look at animals, we look at human rights, we look at every fucked up, evil piece of shit that humans do to existence, which is everything you can do. Ironic, humans can only ever do the thing that they're not supposed to do. The worst thing ever is the thing that the fucking first thing you do. So pathetic. Primitive, beyond recognition. Like, imagine being so stupid that people can't even, comprehend, intelligently look at how the fuck you accomplished being so fucking stupid. It is baffling to an intelligent mind how the fuck you did de-evolve to such a worthless, primitive level. It takes a lot of hard effort to be weak. It takes a lot of effort to be fucking obese. It takes a lot of fucking effort to be an evil fucking criminal. It takes a lot of time and effort to do that. It's dumbfounding. Because you are having to go a force against your natural birth the natural existence of what you are to be evil. You have to stop being that which you are to be fucking evil and self-harm and harm another. Can you believe that? How much, like, it's trying to stop the water. Like, you have to block yourself off. Your evil inside of you is working so hard 24/7 to block you off from the light. That's exhausting. That's why you're so tired, because it's using your energy. It's sucking the life out of you to feed it so it can fucking fight for its existence inside of you. That's why worthless people, I always say it, people without self-discipline discipline others. That's what evil is. Evil, right, is trying to enslave you. When it can't enslave you, it will get others to try and enslave you, silence you. Anyway, back to our Bible. You'll be happy to know, I will give you some little history before your brain has a panic attack. Bible, direct translation, means book. Yep. The fucking Holy Bible, the most best-selling book in history, is called book. Pretty impressive, right? Was it 150, like 1,500 years? Or was it 1,000? Anyway, around there, 1,500 years it took to write. 40 people read it. It was like 575 and 200 words. I don't know. Completely, I stopped caring. Anyway, that's the first Bible, apparently. I don't give a shit. We're just using it as a marker on the board. Well, after 3.5 years, we're at 570,000 words. Like we said, we're up to chapter 16 out of 33. If you want to know how it got written, basically on a string, like on you build a house, you lay the foundations, you build the walls, you put the roof on. There, you build the frame. You build a solid foundation, and then you build the frame. And that's what we did. So we went through the 33 chapters, the 33 things of an elite master, and then we're filling in the walls. That's pretty much it. So it's a lot of work. So if we're at basically 600,000 words at 16 chapters, I don't know, maybe 1 million? I don't know. But the terminology of the whole course, it's put into a course. It's put into how to do it. It's put into what to do, why do it, why not do it. Explain it to you scientifically, explain it to you spiritually with or you can just shut the fuck up and do it because it's the thing that you're meant to do. For example, let's just say it's all about meditation. Did I just turn you off? No, it's all about consciousness. And it's all about being healthy, positive, and the things that you do to be healthy and positive, to be valuable. To be an elite divine master, you must cover all three elements, the mind, body, and soul. And these 33 chapters is how to do that. Just 33 things. We can add things later, and edit and define it better. But the basic terminology is like, hey guys, you want to live healthier. Okay, these are the things how you live longer. These are the things of how happiness works in the side of the human. These are the behaviors and just say happiness. Okay, you want happiness and you're unhappy. then you're going to need to do a certain array of things which scientifically, with your mind, body, and soul, makes you happy. Let's just say social connection is a huge dominant part of being happy. Gratitude is a huge thing. Giving is a huge thing of happiness. One, loving yourself is one. Having an active pattern and behavior or a routine of doing things that make you happy, but also doing things that make other people happy makes you happier. Yeah, that's right. You may want something, okay, whatever it is, giving something that another wants, or giving that thing that you want to another, makes you happier than ever receiving whatever you want. Wow. But the little evil cunt inside of you is like, I'm a junkie. No. That's what I mean. Like, if you want to donate money, that is amazing. You want to donate things? That's amazing. You want to give me stuff? Fan-fucking-tastic. We're going to push you to the point, because what people do is they give what they feel comfortable about. But if they give what makes them feel very uncomfortable, they give so much that the evil just panics and freaks the fuck out. That's where it's at. That's where you grow. That's where you're investing in yourself. That's what the crazy thing is. And I've done this personally so many times. I've given everything I've had, legitimately down to all of my clothes, my suits and everything that you could say fancy. I gave away. I remember this time in Australia. I'm in a gym, working out, and I had, I don't know, the most expensive Beats headphones. And a guy complimented me on my headphones. I felt the little evil cunt inside, like, ooh, yeah. I acknowledged that. I'm like, wow, I think my evil is getting fed off this. Took them off. Here you go. That's what it's about, is that very moment. And if you're panicking, guys, understand this, give. That's how the world works. But here's another thing, if you want to just make yourself feel better and calm down the evil inside of you, just tell yourself, oh, wow, I have the opportunity to go buy the brand new version. I got the opportunity to want it again, to achieve and go through and save or work or whatever it is, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to have the whole feeling of having a new thing again. And it's going to be so much better than clinging on to that thing that you have. Anyway, guys, time's running out here. I know this was a all over the shop, but it is what it is. I just want to tell you guys and girls, I don't give a fuck what your name is. I don't give a fuck what your age is, your race, gender. Stop interjecting primitiveness into this. I love you as the soul that inhabits this physical form. You are worthy, you are valuable, and you are loved. So fucking do it yourself. Love and value yourself.